Hello, my dear friends. So, once again, I am here with you, our next module, Module 4, on the topic matrix algebra. In this module, we will study about the properties of matrices. That is, the various properties which has been hold or which is satisfying by the matrices. So, the various properties which is satisfied by the matrices are here as under. Before we start, let me give you the flashback of the previous modules, what we have studied in the previous modules. In the module 1, we have studied about the matrix algebra, what is matrix algebra, why we use it, and the definition of a matrix. In the second module, we have studied about the types of matrices, the various types of matrices, and even the trace of a matrix also, and the equality of matrices. In the third module, which was the most important module, that was the various operations performed on the matrices. The various operations which were performed on the matrices was addition, subtraction, scalar multiplication, and the multiplication of two matrices. So in this module, we will study about the various properties satisfied by the matrices. So here we are going to study about the various properties. So we are going to begin. Let us suppose that A, B, and C are conformable matrices. Conformable means that it is not a null matrix, means some of the elements are there. It is a non-zero matrix. So the first property which is satisfied the matrix is the commutative property. Means if we are adding two matrices A plus B, the value will remain same if we are going to add B plus A. Means the commutative law holds under the addition of two matrices. Similarly, the associative law also, the addition of three matrices in the form of A plus B plus C and in the form of A plus B plus C, it will remain same. Means the matrices will hold the property of associative under addition. The third property or the third law which is satisfied the matrices is the distributive law. Distributive law means if we are going to add two matrices, after adding these two matrices, if we are multiplying it with any scalar, any constant number, you will get the same value as we are multiplying the matrix, first matrix with scalar and the second matrix with scalar, and afterwards we are adding these two results. You will get the same value. So these three laws are satisfied by the matrices. The first one is commutative law, second one is associative law, and the third one is distributive law. Another properties satisfied the matrices are A into B plus C is equal to AB plus AC, and A plus B into C is equal to AC plus BC, and A into BC is equal to AB into C. Means these are the properties which are satisfied by the matrices. But the most important thing is A into B is not equal to B into A. It means the commutative law does not hold under multiplication. Under addition, it is possible A plus B is equal to B plus A. But generally, A into B is not equal to B into A. But in some of the cases, it may be equal. But in general, we can say that the commutative law does not hold under multiplication. Another important thing is if the product of two matrices is 0, then it doesn't mean that either A equal to 0 or B equal to 0. It is not necessary that one of the two matrices is equal to 0, only then the product of these two matrices is 0. It is not necessary. Maybe sometimes both the matrices are not equal to 0, but the product of these two matrices can be equal to 0. Similarly, A into B is equal to A into C doesn't mean that B must be equal to C. It is not necessary that if the product of these two matrices A and B and product of these two matrices A and C are equal only when B is equal to C. It is not necessary. Maybe both B and C may not be equal, but still the product of A into B is equal to A into C. So these are the properties which are satisfied by the matrices. Next, the important concept regarding the matrix is transpose of a matrix. What do you mean by transpose? The matrix obtained by interchanging the rows and columns of a matrix A is called the transpose of A. It is simply denoted, or it can be written as A raised to the power T or A dash. So the transpose of a matrix is either denoted by A dash or AT. It means that suppose if you are given with the matrix A of any order, and if you want to find out the transpose of this matrix, then how we can find out the transpose of this matrix? We need simply to interchange the first row to first column and second row to second column. See, A is a matrix which is of order 2 by 3, means 2 rows and 3 columns. In the first row, we are having 3 elements 1, 2, 3. In the second row, we are having 3 elements 4, 5, 6. Now, if we need to find out the transpose of this matrix, then how we can find out transpose? We need to interchange the first row into first column and second row into second column. So after interchanging the rows into columns, you will get the transpose of a matrix. In general, mathematically, it can be denoted as if A is equal to Aij, this is the general element of a matrix, then its transpose is denoted by Bij, or we can say that Aji means the row will be interchanged with column and column will be interchanged with row. See here, Aij will become Aji. So in this way, we can find out the transpose of a matrix. The last is symmetric and skew symmetric matrices. A matrix A such that A transpose is equal to A is called symmetric. Means a matrix is symmetric if the transpose of the matrix will remain same as that of the original matrix. When we interchange the rows into columns or columns into rows, and if it will not affect the value of the matrix, then that matrix is called the transpose of a matrix. And it will happen only when Aj is equal to Aij for all I and j. A plus A transpose must be symmetric. If we are going to add the matrix with its transpose, then it must be symmetric. For example, if A is a matrix of order 3 by 3, now it is a symmetric matrix because when we interchange its first row to first column, here first row is 1, 2, 3. If we change first row into first column, it will remain same 1, 2, 3. The second row is 2, 4, minus 5. If we are going to change second row to second column, 2, 4, minus 5, it remains same. The third row is 3, minus 5, 6. If we are going to change the third row into third column, 3, minus 5, 6, again it remains same. So this matrix is called symmetric matrix. Why? Because if we will take the transpose of this matrix, it will remain same. And if a matrix, the transpose of a matrix is equal to negative of that matrix, then we call it as skew symmetric. It means the elements located in this position If we are going to interchange the row into column, then it should be negative of the interchange of column into rows. So a matrix is called skew symmetric matrix when we transpose the matrix, and you will get the result as a negative of the original matrix, then it is called skew symmetric matrix. And most important thing is, if we subtract the transpose of a matrix from the original matrix, then it must be a skew symmetric matrix. That you can check it when I'm going to give some assignments for you. So with this, I'm going to finish this module 4. So that's all about the module 4, in which we have studied about the properties of matrices and the transpose of a matrix and symmetric and skew symmetric matrices. So that's all about the module 4. So in this way, we have completed our 4 modules, which is based on the topic matrix algebra. So after this one, I'm going to give you some assignments on these modules, which we need to sort it out. And if you are having any query, then you can drop me your queries on my email or on the Moodle class. Thank you. Thank you very much.